The Talking Vegetables. Rewrote by One Lady Pay and Margaret Lippert. By Miss Smith's class. Bam, bam, bam. Who's pounding on my door so early in the morning? Spider shouted. You neighbors, it's time to clear the land for our village farm. Go away, said Spider. I'm tired, but we need you, they said. If everyone helps there will be plenty of vegetables for all of us. Spider yawned. I don't need your vegetables. I have plenty of rice.
Everyone in the village walked down the road to a clearing in the forest. Everyone except Spider. They worked all day, cutting down bushes, tearing out vines, and digging up roots. They raked smooth beds and built a waterway.
The next morning, the villagers came again to Spider's door. Bam, bam, bam. Who's there? Spider called. Your neighbors. Come help us plant the seeds. I said no, and I meant no, shouted Spider. No, now go away.
The villagers carried seeds to the farm and planted them in straight rows. They planted cassava, tomato, squash, pumpkin, cabbage, cucumber, pepper, and many different kinds of beans and greens.
A month later, the villagers knocked on Spider's door again. Bam, bam, bam. Spider opened his door and yelled, What do you want now? It's time to weed the farm, they answered. I didn't help before, and I'm not helping now, Spider screamed. He slammed the door and went back to bed. All day the villagers pulled weeds. Their knees hurt, their backs ached, and their arms were sore. In the time the vegetables began to ripen, the villagers picked what they wanted. One day, Spider said to himself, I'm getting tired of rice, plain rice, day after day after day. I live here. I'm part of this village too. I'm going to pick myself some vegetables to go with my rice.
When the spider got to the farm, he couldn't believe his eyes. Huge cucumbers lay on the ground. Giant pumpkins rest under green leaves. Juicy tomatoes hung from vines. Wow, said Spider. Those tomatoes look delicious. I'll take one or maybe two. Spider reached out to pick a tomato from the nearest plant. The tomato shook itself and said, What are you doing? Spider said, What? A talking tomato? Tomato said, Do not pick me. And Spider said, Wow. Spider backed away. He looked around and said, There are so many fat cucumbers on that vine. I'll just take one or maybe two. But as he walked towards the cucumber vine, it started to moving away from him. Spider was surprised. He'd never seen a moving vine before. It twisted all over the ground. Cucumber said, You can't take me. Spider ran to the other side of the farm. Ahead, he saw a perfect pumpkin, big enough, but not too big. I'll just grab the pumpkin on my way out, he said, but he couldn't lift it. The pumpkin stuck to the ground.
He tugged and he pulled, but the pumpkin wouldn't move.
Pumpkin said, "You can't eat me. You didn't plant the seeds. You didn't garden the weeds." Then the spider ran to the other side of the farm. Ahead, he saw the perfect corn. "Big enough, but not too big. I'll just grab that corn on my way out," he said. But he couldn't reach it. The corn was too tall, and he tugged and pulled, but the corn couldn't move. Corn said, "No, no, no. You can't eat me."
The spider didn't give up. Next, he tried to pick some oranges from a tree. "They won't miss one little orange," he thought. "You can't take me," Orange said. Orange said, "You didn't weed the farm." Then Spider saw a patch of ripe, juicy watermelon. "I love watermelon," he said. He tugged and pulled, but the watermelon did not budge. The watermelon said, "You can't eat me because you didn't plant me or trim my weeds." "If I can't have oranges and I can't have watermelon, then I will eat strawberries," Spider said. "No one will notice one or two missing strawberries." But as he reached for the plant, it began to shake. Strawberry said, "You did not help make the farm. Go away."
Then Spider spotted broccoli. "Nobody likes broccoli," he said as he pulled on the stalk. But then Broccoli said, "You can't pick me. You didn't help."
Spider fell on top of a mushroom. "I am so hungry. I will eat this mushroom," he said. But Mushroom said, "You can't take me. You didn't help make the farm."
Spider was exhausted and hungry. Just then he thought himself and doing bell pepper. "Yum!" he exclaimed, and he stood up the vine, he pulled and tugged until Bell Pepper said, "You didn't till the land. You didn't plant my seeds. You can't take me." Then Spider looked up. He saw an apple tree. "I'll just take one," he said. But then the apple said, "Why do you think you can pick me? Then you don't come to clear the land or plant my seeds or pull my weeds. Get out of here." But Spider was still hungry. Next, he found a row of cabbage. He tugged and pulled, then suddenly Cabbage said, "You can't pick me. You didn't clear the land. You didn't plant our seeds. You didn't pull our weeds." Spider ran away. He saw some bananas. He tried to peel one, but then Banana said, "Get out of here." Spider was so hungry now. Next, he came to a patch of lettuce. He tried to steal some until Lettuce said, "You did nothing." Spider was so scared now. He saw a happy yellow squash. "I bet she will let me have a bite, but then ... Hey, what are you doing? Said Squash. Spider rushed away from the angry Squash, but in his hurry he got all tangled up in a patch of peas. Now Spider was desperate. He grabbed at peas with all 8 legs. You can't pick us, said the peas. You didn't clear the land, you didn't plant our seeds, you didn't pull the weeds.
Spider tried to find his way out of the farm, but the vegetables reached up to grab him. Leaves covered his eyes, stem stretched out to trip him. Spider finally got free. He ran all the way back to the village. When he got home, he was tired and hungry. He put a pot of water over the fire and boiled some rice.
That night he ate rice for dinner. Plain rice.